Hello, lovely YouTube family. Welcome back to Business Society. Today we're going to talk about one of the most dangerous boxers in the ring, and when I say dangerous, I really mean that. Let's watch the whole video to see why this guy is a human beast. If you like this content of this video, remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below. Enjoy the video. The Rise. For a time, boxing's great conqueror of the mid to late 1980s, Mike Tyson, bestrode his domain as imperiously as Julius Caesar once did. No man could stand in defiant opposition to the beast of Brownsville and hope that they would survive. Quote, "I wouldn't be surprised if he went 100-0, Tyson's trainer Kevin Rooney said a few days before the nearly 22-year-old wrecking machine put his undisputed heavyweight championship on the line against undefeated former champion Michael Spinks. Michael Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966, and he is an American former professional boxer who competed from 1985 all the way up till 2020. Nicknamed Iron Mike and Kid Dynamite in his early career, and later known as the baddest man on the planet, Tyson is considered one of the best heavyweight boxers of all time. He reigned as the undisputed world heavyweight champion from 1987 all the way to 1990. Claiming his first belt at 20 years, 4 months, and 22 days old, Tyson holds the record as the youngest boxer to win a heavyweight championship ever. Tyson won his first 19 professional fights by knockout, 12 of them in the first round. He won the WBC title in 1986 after stopping Trevor Berbick in the second round, and added the WBA and IBF titles after defeating James Smith and Tony Tucker in 1987. He was the first heavyweight boxer to simultaneously hold the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles, as well as the only heavyweight to unify them in succession. The following year, Tyson became the lineal champion when he knocked out Michael Spinks in just 91 seconds in the first round. He successfully defended his titles 9 times, including victories over Larry Holmes and Frank Bruno. In 1990, Tyson lost the titles to underdog Buster Douglas, who knocked him out in the 10th round. Attempting to regain the titles, Tyson defeated Donovan Ruddock twice in 1991, but pulled out of a fight with then undisputed heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield, who had defeated Douglas in 1990 to win the titles due to a rib injury. The Fall. So now that we have established Mike Tyson as a legendary boxer, the face tattoo, the biting off of Evander Holyfield's ear, and all the knockouts, Iron Mike Tyson is one of the top 15 heavyweight boxers to ever step foot in the ring, maybe even top 5, but we'll see. He is also legendary for his prolific spending. Tyson is estimated to have earned around $400 million during his career, and he is said to have almost $300 million in his bank account at one point. He should have been set for life, but he blew it all. Every single last dollar. He had an entourage so large it rivaled the size of a small country. He owned Siberian tigers, he had fleets of luxury vehicles, a posse of prostitutes, and a 21-bedroom mansion. Iron Mike didn't deny himself anything. Over the course of a decade, Tyson not only blew through $300 million, but he went $50 million in debt too. How do you spend $350 million in 10 years? Well, just ask Mike Tyson. Mike grew up poor in Brownsville, New York, but by the time he was 22 years old, he was the youngest heavyweight champion of all time and a household name. How did Tyson run through all of that money? He didn't have the upbringing, tools, or coping mechanisms to deal with his sudden fame, money, and attention. Tyson made his professional debut in 1985, and life was going very well for Tyson until he lost his title to Buster Douglas in 1990. Then it all fell apart. Less than a year after losing his title, Tyson was accused of raping Desiree Washington. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison, and he was released in 1995 after serving 4 years in jail. At this time, he reportedly had $300 million in the bank. And in the first 3 years after getting out of prison, Tyson spent $4.5 million on cars and motorbikes, which is 19 vehicles he bought for his friends, $400,000 on pigeons and a variety of big cats such as Siberian tigers, $300,000 on lawn care and garden maintenance alone, $240,000 per month for walking around money that he spent in daily life flexing things, $230,000 on cell phones, pagers, and phone bills, $125,000 per year for an animal trainer to take care of the big cats, and $100,000 per month on jewelry and clothes. During the same time, Mike bought a 21-bedroom, 24-bathroom mansion in Connecticut. This house had its own nightclub and casino. Tyson also bought homes in Maryland, Las Vegas, and Ohio. His Ohio home had gold-plated furnishings and a basketball court. Tyson is believed to have bought 111 cars over the course of his lifetime. Among those cars was a $500,000 limited edition Bentley Continental SC. Only 73 of this car was ever made, and he also owned a number of Lamborghinis, Ferraris, a Mercedes-Benz 500, a Range Rover, and a 1995 Rolls-Royce, which he later totaled in an accident. He left that Rolls-Royce at an auto repair garage and told them to keep it. Tyson also often lent his cars to friends and forgot where he put them or who'd he loaned them to. He sent members of his entourage out to find those missing cars. Another legend about Tyson and his money is the time he found tens of thousands of dollars stashed in his laundry basket. He left the money there 2 years earlier. One of the most outlandish purchases that Tyson ever made was a $2 million golden bathtub for his first wife, actress Robin Givens. For what it's worth, Tyson takes responsibility for his irresponsible money management, and he has said that it was all his fault, but he had a great time. Tyson filed for bankruptcy back in 2007. Rise again. After hanging up the gloves years ago, former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson decided to come out of retirement at the age of 54 and fight fellow boxing legend Roy Jones Jr., who is 51 years old, with everything lined up in California for November 28th, and here's what happened. The fight naturally drew massive interest, with Tyson sharing plenty of footage of his training regimen and body transformation over the last few months, whetting the appetite of boxing fans around the globe. And it was Iron Mike's first fight since 2005, when he fought Irishman Kevin McBride, and one that came with a very sizable payout. Tyson pocketed around $10 million for this comeback fight, a handy payday for the boxing star who famously blew most of his career earnings, which Forbes estimated could have been as much as $685 million. Roy Jones Jr., meanwhile, reportedly made around $3 million for his appearance. Today, Tyson says that he is giving his earnings to charity. Having himself become a proud cannabis smoker in recent years, Tyson has subsequently mellowed out, if his latest appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast is anything to go by, since his high-tempered heyday in the ring, during which time he spent 3 years in prison after being convicted of rape in 1992, and later bit off a part of Evander Holyfield's ear in a boxing match in 1997. Although he did tell Rogan that he had quit cannabis temporarily while preparing for Saturday's fight. Brooklyn native has already promised to give his earnings from the Roy Jones Jr. fight to charity, stressing that this highly anticipated comeback is not about making money. Quote, "It's going to be for various charities," he told TMZ Sports. Quote, "Nobody has to ever worry about me getting rich or getting jealous or saying I'm doing the comeback for money. I'm not getting anything. I just feel good doing this because I can." Well, that's it for this video, guys. How was the video? Did you like it? If yes, then hit that thumbs up button and comment down below. Subscribe to this channel and press that bell icon for more videos coming very soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.